Welcome to the Primitive Lifeways channel. In today's video, I want to discuss the many uses for mullein. So stick around, I'll be right back with you. So folks, I want to welcome you back. Now as you can see right beside me, we have two really healthy mullein stalks. And this is an environment that is really rich in mullein, especially in the upper climates and higher altitudes of Arizona. This likes to grow really prolific around meadows and streams and little creek beds, which I'm standing right next to right now. You'll also see it along disturbed areas on the roadside. So before we discuss its many medicinal properties, I want to discuss its tool uses because this was widely used by native peoples in this area as well as outside of Yavapai County. So the first thing you can see, I'm holding a dead and dry mullein stalk. This is actually from last year. And this makes an excellent primitive fire material, specifically with the hand drill, using it as a spindle. This is a nice soft pithy wood. So in combination with a medium soft wood like a cottonwood or willow, even a saguaro rib as a hearthboard, this will generate a coal fairly quick. The next thing you can see on this plant, there's a lot of soft leaves, and as you start getting to the base, you can get some really large examples like this, and same with this. They're nice and soft, nice and velvety. So when you're traveling or if you're at a campsite, you don't have toilet paper, this can be used as a toilet paper, but you don't want to use it in excess because it does cause some irritation. Really good material. One other thing you can do is you can char this and essentially make a char cloth like material. It'll catch a spark very fast. And finally, this top flower stalk, you can soak this in tallow or animal fat, and you can use this as a wick, almost like a makeshift candle wick. It works great. Okay, so now let's go ahead and dip into the many medicinal uses of mullein. This is a plant that I actually use every single year. These leaves contain high amounts of mucilage. So folks who have asthma, breathing problems, if they have mucus in the lungs, bronchial problems, you can actually dry out these leaves and you can smoke them. That'll help break up the mucus in your throat, in your chest, in your lungs, and it'll help tremendously with breathing problems. So out here, I get bad allergies every single year. I didn't really get these back in the Mojave Desert because of the lack of vegetation and the lack of flowers, but out here, it sure gets me. And one thing that I get with allergies is I get a lot of mucus in my lungs. So I'll just take the leaves, and I usually go for the young leaves in the center. I dry those out, and then I'll break them up and smoke it to help break up some of the mucus and cough and hack it out. So this is a really good plant for lung and chest problems. So the natives, as well as the old pioneers, would utilize these leaves as a tea. They would crush them up, steep them in hot water, strain the liquid, and then consume it. That would help with chest colds, bronchitis, coughs, as well as kidney infections. So the next medicinal use that I want to cover is in regards to these yellow flowers as well as the leaves. These are antimicrobial, so when you infuse it and let it sit in an oil, you can essentially make an ear drop. You know, a few years ago when I first moved into Yavapai County, I was experiencing severe vertigo. I went to the doctor and it turned out I had an inner ear infection. So my friend Rachel contacted me. She has a master's degree in herbal medicine. She made me an oil, and I added 3 drops per ear twice a day. And I'll tell you folks, it helped out tremendously. It really does work, and it helps relieve those symptoms. So our last and final use regarding mullein resorts right back to the leaves. These leaves are anti-inflammatory but also antibacterial. So for minor cuts, scrapes, burns, blistering, and infection, this works great. You can make a simple poultice out of it, and I want to show you how to do that right now. When making a simple Mullen poultice, I like to harvest different leaves. I first start off with a sharp knife cutting the center of the plant. These are fairly small leaves and they're a little bit younger. Then I'll go around the plant and cut medium-sized leaves and finally harvest the larger leaves depending on the size of cut or the area that I'm treating. Once the leaves are gathered, I like to strip the plant down. I go for the young tender leaves and I'll break them up to throw them into a mortar and pestle. Any mortar and pestle will do as long as you have a hard surface with a fair amount of weight to expose the volatile oils of the mullein. Pounding the leaves down is a very important step into making a simple spit poultice. So I'll first start off by spitting into the leaves and then I'll begin to pound them down with my mortar and pestle. As I continue to pound and break up the leaves, I like to add more water into this mush. This allows the leaves to expand and soften before adding it into the bandage. Finally, our medicine is made. At this point, I make a simple bandage, apply it directly to the affected area, and then proceed on to lashing it around my leg.